On today's special holiday episode, we invite back Nostalgia Test podcast all-star and longtime friend Billy Delia to put Die Hard to the ultimate test. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Welcome to the Nostalgia Test podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
I knew you were gonna do the yippee-ki-yay. I was hoping you were gonna say, "I got a machine gun now, ho ho ho."
Oh, love it.
Or, I mean, there's like so many other like one-liners, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could have done like, you're going to need more FBI guys.
I didn't know they celebrated Christmas in Japan.
Or how about everything that Cokehead said?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Some brie by the fire.
Oh, my God.
Like,
well,
come to the coast. We'll get together.
Yeah.
Have some laughs.
Well, everyone, if you didn't know already, first of all, welcome everyone to the Nostalgia Test podcast. Happy holidays. This is our special holiday episode, and we are doing Die Hard. That's right. We are not just putting Die Hard to the ultimate test to see if it passes the nostalgia test, but we are also going to find out, is this a Christmas movie or is this just a movie that happens on Christmas? There's a big debate that's been going on. We have it been going through on Threads, on X, and on Instagram. People have been weighing in, and we'll talk all about that. But welcome to the podcast. And if it's the first time you're listening, this is the podcast with me, Dan Dissinger, here in LA, my longtime friend over there in New York, Manny. We put our pop culture to the ultimate test to see if it's still good or just nostalgic, or maybe it's really, really terrible, like Take Your Pants Off and Jacket. Episode 3. 2, 3. We're episode 10 something at this point. Like we're
That's awesome.
Or Three Musketeers bar.
Or Three Musketeers bad. Yeah. But Die Hard.
Here it is.
This is a big one. This is a big one.
Dude, I don't even like, so nostalgic or not is cool, but like the fact that I think at the end we might have an answer to whether this is a Christmas movie or not, or it'll always just be a debate.
Yeah.
So, but I guess we should save that part
We're
later, or are we
going
to get right into it?
We'll save them.
Dude,
yeah.
There's enough good stuff to talk about with this movie. Like without even like, I think there's parts like when I took the notes when I was watching it, I made notes on the ridiculous parts so that why I like this movie, and then stars next to the one that like relate to is this a Christmas movie? Is this
Christmas movie? Yeah. It's the fact that like the main character's wife's name is Holly. Like so like
ridiculous.
But it was, the biggest thing is like, and Dan, I want the facts on this, but
sure,
it was released in June or July, right? It was released in the summertime. So that's action film release time.
Especially
I did not realize that.
Yeah, released around my birthday, July 12th or July 15th, around there. It's
so that thing is like, back in the summertime when we were kids, that's an action movie.
That's a
strike against it being a Christmas movie.
That's summer blockbuster.
We should have like a thing, Dan, on the video, like bing, strike one. Like it's now going. It just takes
like
place.
Pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. It's definitely, and if you look at the cover art, there's nothing that says Christmas to it. It's Bruce Willis's face, a building exploding. And that's it. Not a Christmas tree to be seen. Nothing. And that's another part that's like kind of like, well, if you're telling me this is a Christmas movie, then there's a lot to be talked about in terms of it being like definitely not one. I mean, someone on Instagram said something about like Gremlins. Like there was another thing where people talking about, well, I guess Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Like no shit.
No, Gremlins no shit.
A Christmas movie. That's a Christmas movie. No problem. Right. But if anyone here, like, listening to this episode 35 years from now, 50, 100 years from now, and you don't know what Die Hard is, Die Hard is a 1988 American action film directed by John McTiernan, written by Jeb Stewart and Stephen E. D'Souza, based on the based on the 1979 novel Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe.
I did not know that either.
On novels.
Cobra, based on a novel as well.
No,
Cocktail.
No.
Yes.
Get the
Cocktail
fuck out
based
here.
on a novel. It's
Cocktail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen to
Mind
episode 1
blown,
and episode
dude.
100.
Dude, no movies in the 80s weren't based on novels.
Based on
it's
a
like
novel.
crazy.
So it stars.
I need to read the book about Roadhouse.
Oh.
Yeah, I guarantee you it's based on a novel about being a bouncer.
Oh my God. Just for everyone, it stars Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, who rest in peace, Alan Rickman, Alexander Godunov, Bonnie Bedelia, with Reginald Vell Johnson. Shout out to Carl Winslow, William Atherton, Paul Gleason.
Dude, Carl Winslow is now voicing the principal in Invincible, the comic book series on Prime. If you guys haven't watched Prime,
I haven't watched
Invincible, bro, that is by far one of my favorite things on television right now. Like the adaptation of the comic book. I didn't even care about the comic book. I didn't really even know about it. I know it's new. It's fairly new. But what the take on superhero stuff, it's kind of like The Boys, but like an animated version. And
Nice.
Carl is in it. Well, I know that's not the actor's name.
Reginald Vell Johnson.
But he's so good.
Carl Winslow.
It's
Carl Winslow.
so good to hear his voice,
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just one more thing, like just for the like a little bit of the plot on Christmas Eve. So I guess check in the Christmas box. New York City Police Department Detective John McClane arrives in Los Angeles, hoping to reconcile with his estranged wife, Holly, at a party held by her employer, the Nakatomi Corporation. He is driven to Nakatomi Plaza by a limo driver, Argyle. Shout out to Argyle.
Argyle's the shit, bro. I love that guy.
Who offers to wait for McClane in the garage while McClane changes clothes. The tower is seized by German radical Hans Gruber and his heavily armed team, including Carl and Theo. And then it goes from there, and it just gets crazy. This is phenomenal. A 2-hour movie
in a building.
Yeah, in one building.
It only takes place in a building, and people make fun of like, that movie that was in like water for the whole time. There's that movie now, like that's like there's a
terrible film.
It's called like Deep Water, or I don't know what
Deep Blue Sea.
No, not that one. That
movie.
That was a great movie.
Great movie, hands down.
LL Cool J's character in that movie is amazing.
I think we saw that in the theater in high school. I remember like getting there late and sitting in the front row because nothing else was available.
Yeah, no, that movie is great. There's another movie, Frozen, where it's all takes place on a chairlift that gets stuck in the middle of the.
I've seen it. Open Water, that movie.
Yeah, Open Water. Yeah, so like. Fuck you for making fun of the fact that the place is only one thing. This movie is great, and it takes place in one freaking setting. And you know what?
That's pretty awesome.
Best thing is the studio. It's the studio's building, so they rented to themselves.
Wow, amazing.
Tax write-off.
Let's just
tax write-off and profit.
Right off the bat, I just want to say this. This is a Nostalgia Test podcast confession, but this is the first time I've ever seen Die Hard, and
it's mind-blowing, dude.
Wait. You're saying not even like a snippet of the movie?
No, I've a snippet, but not enough for me to say that I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Because you flip around the channels, it's on. You see a couple minutes of it, type thing. Yeah.
So you only know of it through like quotes and just like the popularity of this movie,
right? Because the thing is this, like.
I'm fucking shocked.
My childhood was without cable, and which means I didn't get to see.
I had too much cable.
Movies. And then I didn't have cable.
You had that illegal box, bro.
Yeah, bro. Remember that shit
in your uncle's room. Yeah,
that passes the nostalgia test. 100%. The black box passes the nostalgia
100%, bro. Illegal
my dad could have gotten one of those. Yo, my dad could have gotten one at the depot. Everyone was selling them. All the bus drivers had one. My dad's like, no, I don't want one. Why?
Oh my god! Why not?
Hell, man. Yeah.
Every single bus driver definitely had a scrambler.
Of course they did.
Up.
Except for
and they made money selling that shit to other people. Like they're probably like selling it to like people that walked in on the bus. Be like, you just pay $1 to get on this bus. You want to buy this scrambler for $100?
I didn't have cable, and then when I moved out I didn't have cable because I moved into a room in Colorado. That's when my parents got cable. And then when I came back, I wasn't living really at home. So I didn't really ever have cable. Ever.
Yeah.
So
now you just got to pay $3.99 to watch movies.
I had to pay $3.79 for this, which I think I'm just going to start buying DVDs because of everything.
I purchased the movie for $9.99.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to watch this over and over.
Dan, this is why we got to start selling this merch, because then we can start, paying for all the nostalgic movies we got to watch.
And
you can write it off.
Yeah,
it's a business expense.
That's right.
Exactly.
So this is the
research
first time
and development.
So this is the first time I've seen this movie. This movie was outstanding, and I wish I would have seen it when I was a kid.
It was such a classic. Like, the best part about this movie is when it takes place, because it's like 88, right? So you still got the 80 cheesiness to it, but then you got the 90s grunge coming into it.
Yep.
Yes.
The look of a 90s movie too. Like the shoulder pads on that guy who does coke. Like, first of all, that guy sucks balls, and I want to punch him in the face every time I see him. But the freaking shoulder pads on his jacket was like here. It was crazy. But he was such a douchebag. What was his character?
The first time you meet him, he's like sexually harassing Holly Gennaro, where he's like, it's apparently like his boss or his close worker, and he's like basically trying to bang her like at work. Like, oh, why don't we go back to my house? I have some aged brie by the fire.
Aged brie,
bro.
That's what how he's trying to get. Aged brie. Hey, let's go eat some horribly smelling cheese. That sounds
sexual harassment, bro.
Yeah,
I guess it was okay in '88 still.
And he was doing coke on her desk.
And his boss walks in and is like, "Hey man, what's up?" Like, no,
what's up? How you doing?
And then
what do you got there?
John's like, "Yeah, you got some left over," and he's like, "Here you go," like that. Dude, they were just like, we need to show that these guys so back then. Think about that was when the movie with Charlie Sheen. Where he's the stockbroker
Wall Street
and stuff.
Wall Street.
Wall Street came out. So it was like kind of a sign of like being rich. Like,
everyone's doing the blow.
And like we're seeing, like you're doing the blow. And he had to bring up the Rolex. There was so much foreshadowing in this movie in the first 15, 20 minutes. Like, first of all, wait, let's go to the beginning.
Can we just go back to the
plane? On an airplane.
He's
on an airplane. And this guy just says, oh, you know how you handle travel? And I'm thinking, chew gum to pop your ears. Take something
more cocaine.
To sleep. This motherfucker is talking about putting his feet into fists.
Yeah, I never remember. I didn't remember that. I mean, I watch this movie like every year, and I'm like, this is the first time I sit down and take notes on it. And the first thing I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah, What was that?
What was crazy was that was just foreshadowing why John McClane didn't have fucking shoes on the whole time.
Baffling.
He listened to this dude say, take off your shoes and put them into a fist when you get to where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to be able to handle
Manny, I didn't put two and two together until you just said that, but that's right. That's why you didn't have shoes on.
Dude, but
that's
worst
pretty terrible writing, by the way.
But the grossest part is he didn't just take his shoes off. Like, John McClane goes into the office bathroom. He's in a bathroom with carpet. That bathroom had carpet on it. And he took his shoes off. And he took his socks off. And then he was just like, oh, goddamn, that works. Then a bunch of shooting starts happening. Look, I'm not saying that I would just go, man, I better put my shoes on. But I might actually put my fucking shoes back on.
Instead of running in the hallway? Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to stub your toe? Like that, I mean, I'm thinking this is crazy. I'm thinking because they must have had a scene where they're like, we want him to walk through glass and bleed everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So how do we do that? We need him to take off his shoes. How do we do that?
But then it becomes a running gag, right? Where it's like, not like a gag, but like, he kills a terrorist. Oh, I had to kill the terrorist with the smallest feet in the world, like, or whatever.
Yeah. He brings it back up.
It's like they kept going back to it and like playing it up, So it's kind of funny how we're right from the beginning of the first line, boom, the good point of the foreshadowing.
Right there, the foreshadowing is like, and then like they talk about he goes, yo, tell him about the watch, and like, like it's a Rolex, and the Rolex is what he undoes so that Hans falls out of her hand.
Yep.
So like,
wow,
it's foreshadowing right there. There's like so many different things. Freaking annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Not annoying. It's just that it was so basic writing that it's why can't why? I guess it almost is like directors think we're stupid.
They think we're dumb.
That they need to tell you the story in the beginning so that connects that instead of just like have it happen. Like,
and then you could be really dumb like me and not even realize that.
Wow. There's just so much amazing trivia.
Oh, dude,
she puts on the watch because her freaking partner keeps talking about it and is like, put on the watch later for the speech. So she fucking puts on the Rolex for the speech.
What does that company do?
Bro, what does it do?
I feel it's just illegal what they do. It has to
All
be.
I know is that it totally, because like I was writing things like, looking at this from an 80s movie, it's totally that 80s trope of the Japanese taking over the world. Like, you don't know what they do, but they're taking over the world. Like, remember that was the big thing in the 80s? Like, Japan is going, like nowadays, like China's taking over the world. Back then it was like Japan is taking over the world. And that's like right from the beginning,
Because they did all the electronics and all that other stuff. Yeah,
exactly. But that's total 80s trope there.
Yeah.
And then also like the funny thing to me that jumped out right away in this is like when McClane gets in the limo and he's talking to Argyle about what's going on. Yeah.
The front
he's
seat.
Smoking with the windows closed. I'm like, all right.
Wait, hold on. He's smoking in the airport.
Oh,
as soon as he got out,
Jesus,
he fucking lights it. And he's carrying a gun.
Okay,
on the airplane.
I wrote that down. I'm like, can he just carry a gun, open carry?
Don't worry, I'm
a
cop.
The 80s, they didn't care.
I've been doing it for 18 years.
But
now we have to
cop
take everything
thing is
off
like the
before
stereotypical trope where it's like, what happened to your marriage? Well, my wife got a job that pays her $1 million a year, but I got a backlist of scumbags, and this is the most important job. I'm like, dude,
I got 6 months of
dude, just go to LA. There's plenty of
being a cop
criminals.
in LA. Yo, that chief of police was a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah,
that
he
guy
always plays.
What? He always plays a dick.
He was done with detention in the Breakfast Club, and then he went over there to like do chief of police. Like that's like
they're like, oh, you know what suits you? You should be a chief of police.
Just keep wearing what you're wearing. Just go over to the other studio.
He literally, I think he just walked right over. Yeah. They're like, we need you to be in another film.
Yeah.
All
First of all, no company does a Christmas party on Christmas Eve. I don't think that's a real thing. This never happens, but it always happens in the movie.
They're Japanese.
Okay.
So,
do they even celebrate Christmas, Manny?
Yeah, right.
That's that line. I'm like, dude, that is the most racist line in the world. He's like, I didn't even know the Japanese celebrated Christmas. I'm like, Jesus Christ,
what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. And then like, what about when the woman who's pregnant is like, do you think it'd be all right for the baby to have a sip of alcohol? I was like, wait a minute, like we're okay with this. Oh yeah. She's talking to Holly, and Holly like okays it. She's like
the 80s.
She's like, it's about to come out serving alcohol. Like I was like, oh my god, what are you talking about? This lady's just drinking.
Bro, there was everyone in this. I was so confused because I've never seen this movie. So in the beginning, when Bruce Willis is like just checking out every single woman, I'm like, okay, why is he in L.A.? And then when I find out that he's married to Bonnie Bedelia, I'm like, wait a second. He's been staring down the flight attendant. Then the girl that they're
like divorced, kind of. But
they're not separated.
They're separated.
Yeah, but he's like his character clearly is just like, ugh. But like, he's just like looking around. He's like,
well, it's the 80s, bro. Men couldn't control themselves.
So. Yeah, exactly.
Well, obviously,
they could have anyone they wanted.
Yeah, because
they have anyone they wanted. They all they have to do is like show up, and all is good later. Like,
point taken with like random boobs when like the terrorists come in, start shooting up the place.
Well,
and this couple didn't hear it at all.
So that is another foreshadowing. He's in the bathroom with Holly, or in that room with Holly.
Oh, when the people
and they walk in, those are the people who are having sex in the office.
Yeah,
and they're the ones that help him be able to escape because they distracted the terrorists.
Good point.
No, it was supposed to be a whole terrorist. They were supposed to be terrorists, not bank robbers, not just robbers.
Yeah.
Disguised as terrorists, but the writer realized that if you just made them terrorists, the movie wouldn't be as enjoyable because they were fearing that it would be very political then, and like you like people would much rather see like a vault be open instead of them just being terrorists and like.
Yeah, because it was also before the Berlin Wall fell, right? So you had the whole like East-West Germans. I assume they're supposed to be East Germans, So there's that going on.
Yeah.
The one that it's funny because you mentioned that the boobs in the movie. My brother-in-law, I was talking to him, and he's like, "Dude, this is not a Christmas movie. There's tits in it." I was like, "No. It's an '80s movie. There has to be tits in it." So like, that's like check a box for an '80s movie. Well, like you have to show whether it's like a Playboy thing on the wall or real tits. Like
which he
tits
could not stop looking at, which was ridiculous.
Oh, he goes like this. He like, hey, ladies. Well, I was like, what?
Yeah. And plus, I mean, even though it's PG-13, I mean, Christmas Vacation, I mean, you have that scene in the mall that literally that woman, her clothes weren't even on. Like, you know what I mean?
It is a Christmas movie for sure.
It's a Christmas movie.
And Love Actually is a Christmas movie, and there's like 3 or 4 tit scenes in it.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's not even an 80s movie.
No.
And that's the thing too, is like back then you could have a criteria of Christmas movies, but now like somebody had wrote this on Instagram that, it's too violent, but you have Violent Night, and that shit was crazy violent.
I haven't watched it. I need to watch that.
Billy, I was watching it. I was like, this is a Billy movie.
Chrissy texted me yesterday about it. I got to watch it.
Chrissy and Mike are the ones every year we go back and forth of like who watches the cheesiest like Christmas movies, and they watched it like not cheesy at all. You still need to watch this, and watch it. It's good. It's definitely fucking good.
I'll bring it up right now. Black Christmas is a Christmas movie, horror film, 1974.
Yeah,
probably one of the scariest movies, and it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. But did you see they made that movie Thanksgiving that's like doing like the throwback of the I wanted to see that, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
They came out with another movie this year called Silent Night, and it's like another action Christmas.
I love a good old
back to
movie.
the beginning. So they put in a tape deck, and guess what plays? Christmas in Hollis.
Yeah.
So this,
yes, I wrote that down. Yes, 100%.
DMC.
Great song, by the way.
Greatest Christmas song.
Right away, it is kind of a Christmas movie feel because you're like, there's a couple songs and even accordion playing, orchestra playing like certain Christmas songs.
Yeah, they played "Ode to Joy" in the background. Yep, I noticed that too.
So that's
in the score, bro. Yeah,
that's a check for Christmas movie. So I'm like,
100%.
Oh, shit, because I came in here going, this is not a fucking Christmas movie. But then I'm like, whoa, Holly is her name. He's like.
He's whistling jingle bells when he shows up to the Nakatomi Plaza, So there's all these little clues.
Nakatomi Plaza has like RoboCop technology,
but no one knows how an elevator works.
Nice toy. Like fucking.
No one knows how
like
an
mad at it. He's mad at like the evolution of like technology. He's like,
bro, he's just a cop. He just has to get those scumbags in jail. Fuck his family.
Nice toy.
He's chasing down Ninja Turtles down in New York while it's going on. But no one knows how an elevator works because he asked the guy Nakatomi whatever. He's like, on the 30th floor. Yeah, just get off where you hear the noise. How about you get off at the 30th floor?
At the 30th floor.
Punch it 30.
Dude, and that. I love when he goes to the boss and the boss is like, he goes, "Oh, great building." And he's like, "Oh, when it finishes." I'm like, "Oh, so they needed to foreshadow the fact that, so the building itself, the set, building it was being built. So like, they're like, oh, we could use these rooms because it's in construction, but we need to put that in the movie because God forbid we go on a floor that has just construction and we don't explain why there's just construction there." Like,
exactly. You had to give that in.
Yeah. Unreal.
I totally forgot to mention this when you talk about the random, nudity in 80s movies. How about when he just looks out the window and there's just some naked broad in the building next to him? Like, what the fuck?
I thought he was going to try to signal her.
I said, this is how you end this movie that quick. Ready? You see her? You shoot the window and it fucking explodes. Call the cops. It's over. The movie's gone. You don't have to shoot her. You shoot the window. You make it crash. She's naked. Oh my God, there's bullets flying from across the way.
But I'm just like, Kara's here. Let me look out the window. Look, some naked broad across the thing. I'm like, what is this? What the fuck? That was made no sense.
This made no sense because it didn't. Was he trying to? Yeah,
totally.
Was he trying to like signal her?
But no, imagine the guy pitching it. They're like, imagine he looks out the window and she's a woman, and someone's like, but what if that woman is naked? And they're like, yes, that's it. Yes, you made the movie.
Like nowadays,
that woman doesn't have curtains.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays though, like when you see action, which I'll say this, they don't make action movies like this anymore.
Oh fuck dude.
The time of the action movie like this, Lethal Weapon, like things like that, it's over. It's over. Yeah,
they
right?
try. The closest they got was
comedy action.
Expendables, but that's mostly nostalgia. They're going for that, like
sure.
You're doing a throwback,
But this wasn't being nostalgic. This was being
this is what the movies were.
This is creating a genre.
Well, that's like 100%, this is like Point Break, like we said in that episode. They're taking this very seriously, or Roadhouse. Like this is a serious thing. Like they're like we're making a serious action film. Like now,
but there's some comedy in it because there was some like action comedy.
Yeah.
Like you had to have that.
Yeah.
100%, man. Just like think of any Schwarzenegger movie has the comedic one-liners. You got to have that shit,
Best part about this is this movie lives in that world, right? So like I always love when they bring up Rambo and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which makes me think the guy who wrote it didn't want him to be a super cop. So that's why they chose Bruce Willis, which is crazy to think that Bruce Willis at this time, if you look at him, you're like, this guy's not like a star-struck like he's not Tom Cruise. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's not, Sylvester Stallone, I guess you could have said was more of like, he wasn't that great looking yet, but like he wasn't muscle.
He's always been great looking to me, Manny.
Yeah. He wasn't built. He was built like a regular dude. So
he wasn't jacked out of his mind.
And it goes back to even thinking about Keanu Reeves, because Keanu Reeves was kind of like a regular dude. So it's like this got more people to like the movie, in my opinion. Like, this is real. This could be real. Like, this is just a regular dude who has regular, not a regular job. He's a cop, but like, it's just, I could be this.
He's like
guy.
A regular blue collar dude,
Yeah. Look, checks out girls, smokes cigarettes, fucking hates new technology, just wants to fucking, hug his wife. And I guess he was sent there by the boss. Because the boss who got him the limo. Because this guy have a limo,
Nakatomi. Yeah.
Nakatomi brought him there.
Yeah, because they were having a party, so she wanted to.
She wasn't really sure about it.
Right.
He played this weird thing too. She was like, she wanted him, she didn't. She set up the room, but then she was like,
right when they meet up and she's like, I miss you, John. And then he's like, well, how come you change your fucking last name, bitch? Like, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What's wrong with you?
First of all, you make maybe $35,000 a year. Like, what do you?
Especially this time, dude. Like, come on,
bro. Just move. Just move and become.
He's instantly he's like instantly like, fuck you, bitch. And I'm like, dude, calm down with the misogynistic shit. Like, Jesus, like,
relax.
What about that random dude that kissed him? Was that supposed to be a gay guy? Was that like a gay joke?
Probably in the 80s,
like,
probably.
Like this. He was like,
because there's the running gag of like, California.
Yeah,
California.
He's like, he said that after that. He's like, California. I'm like, was that just like a gay joke? That's what that was.
It's so funny.
I would imagine this in the 80s. Yeah.
I feel like it's this funny thing about how like California is so much softer than New York, but like LA is not. First of all, I live in LA now, and if you take the subway in Los Angeles, it's like the 80s never left. Like it's literally like that. Like it's crazy. And I'm thinking like all those tropes of like how you move to LA, you get like, all of a sudden you lose your edge. No fucking way. It's just like
everyone's not living in Malibu.
Yeah, it's like no one's ever heard of NWA. Like it's just like, come on, bro. But like, he's so, and he knows he messed up, and he hits himself in the head, hits his head on the thing.
Dude, he talks to himself all the time. He's actually crazy.
He's a lunatic.
There might be something wrong with him.
Yeah. The act,
John, don't fuck this up, John. Character. Come on, John. Like,
Come on, John. Yeah.
Dude, like, he talks to himself about like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, this is a way to break the wall, right? This is if it was nowadays, Ryan Reynolds would be straight up talking to the camera, right?
Yeah,
they were just like, it's Deadpool, but like they needed to like lightly make it like, all right, he's kind of talking to us. He's talking to us in a way, but like you have to make this man look manic and fucked up. Like he's like, oh, come on, John. No, John. No. Like, no, come to the coast, have a little ass. I'm like, that was the best shot. That to me was the coolest shot in the fucking in the AC duct, and he lights it, and then he's just like, oh, so good.
Well, apparently most of the script, according to IMDb, was improvised due to the consistent screenplay tweaks that was being made during filming. So probably a lot of maybe Bruce Willis's stuff and everything that he was talking to himself were probably could have been improvised, and they just like kept it in.
Yeah.
And he, and he was really funny. I mean, he
is.
He was great. It was hilarious how his clothing just got dirtier, so like quickly.
They had 14 different
like tanks.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That had various like fucking like to the point where at one point it was so bad and dirty that they're like, all right, you just need to take your shirt off. Like at the end when he has his shirt off and he uses the tape.
Grossest kiss and hug ever.
Oh,
that was like a Rocky one hit. That was like Rocky.
She's got plaster and rocks on him. He's fucking bloody and like oozing shit out.
But that's what happens at the end of a wholesome family Christmas movie, right? The family comes together.
Exactly.
They come together. The kids have like 3 lines, and everyone's like, "Fuck them, who cares?"
Oh my god, that freaking reporter,
the guy who shut down the containment system in Ghostbusters 1.
Yes.
Oh. Yes, but this man has no dick.
That man is terrible. That man is terrible. He basically messed up the whole thing.
Of course.
2 guys that are stupid. The guy who's like, oh, I'm going to go talk to them and like pretends that he's like, what was he thinking there?
Hans, Bubby. Like,
Bubby.
Boom.
Yeah, and then
that's a classic 80s movie too, man. There's always like some asshole that thinks he like either doesn't want to listen to everyone's advice, like thinks he knows what he's doing. Like every 80s movie has that shit, Like same to your point, that guy plays the same character in Ghostbusters, He's just a dick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that guy's also in the Die Hard 2. He's the report.
I've never seen Die Hard 2. Full admission, never seen Die Hard 2. Seen Die Hard with a Vengeance, great movie. Never seen Die Hard 2.
I will say. Dan's cracking up because Dan probably has
so many amazing lines that I wrote down. Like I'm just looking. It's just great.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho!
Oh,
I was like,
when the police chief goes, when the guy gets shot, when Bruce Willis shoots him through the table, like thanks for the advice, and he goes and he throws that body out the window, and they're like, and Carl Winslow's like, oh, what are you supposed to say about that guy? And he goes, oh, he was a stockbroker. He got depressed. He's got
exactly. Yeah, it's like.
Oh my god.
Helsinki, Sweden?
Yeah.
I missed that one. That's great though.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my
Remember where the terrorist is trying to be discreet with undoing the phone lines and the guy comes in with a chainsaw and is like,
what are
you doing, bro?
That guy
from
Money
it done in like 2 seconds. What the fuck
that
are
was
you
his
doing?
brother too. So that was his brother. And he's like, I was gonna say, he's like, you got it? And he's like, hurry up. Like he's kind of
like the asshole older brother.
Couldn't wait. He couldn't fucking wait. He was so happy.
I was taking a chainsaw of this shit, bro. I got it. Don't worry about it.
And then, of course, like Carl Winslow's character is like getting like snacks, Twinkies, or whatever.
Come on, I know, like really.
I'm like, what are we doing here? And then the guy has to make fun of him. He's like, oh, I thought you only ate donuts. I was like, okay, that's
classic fat cop jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
gotta
have always
those.
And what's his name is like on Channel 9. He knows the channel to call the police station. They're like, oh, you this is only for emergencies. He's like, what do you think I'm fucking doing? Ordering a pizza?
Yeah.
Like, he's like,
it's like, sir.
Dude, my favorite is like the trope, and this is like, I feel like this is an 80s trope too, where like he's clearly like a terrible father because he cares more about putting away bad guys than with his family. He's like, I'm just going to show up with this gigantic fucking bear and everything's going to be fine. Like, it's just like a classic 80s thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to ignore my family that brings some stupid ass gift or make some stupid ass gesture,
Yeah. Yeah.
It smells like cigarettes.
Yeah. So the craziest part, so if you guys don't know the franchise, like, you don't really get to know the daughters until like until the 4th one.
What?
That's the one with the dude from the Apple commercial, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
She's in it.
Where they take down a helicopter with a car in the 4th one?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I will say, the second one is good. It takes place in New York, in an airport in New York, and it's also Christmas time.
Is Carl Winslow in that one?
No, there's another character. There's a character that was in NYPD Blues. He's the actor that's in this one.
The guy that shows his ass all the time on NYPD Blue.
It's the fatter guy that's like a mustache.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
So like, he's the one that talks to. He's the walkie guy.
Yeah.
You know, like in it. And
so is it a hijacking situation in that one?
Yes.
I gotta watch that.
And his wife is on the plane.
Again. Okay. All right.
Oh no, his wife is on another plane that's supposed to land. So he needs to figure out what's going on. Get these
terrorists out of here so his wife can land.
There's a prisoner being transferred. So the
guy from this
you gotta watch it.
Die Hard 2.
I gotta watch it. All right.
I will say that it's just I don't know if it's I have to watch it too. Just because
actually I've seen Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
most of Die Hard 2, not Die Hard 1. That was like because I remember that stuff, like the plane.
It's good.
Yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance. The third one is a great movie. And fun fact, that was actually supposed to be a Lethal Weapon movie, and then it switched to a Die Hard movie. Because if you think about it, to your point, the first one takes place in one building. I haven't seen the second one, but I know it basically takes place in the airport, right?
Yes.
The third one, like that is like more like a Lethal Weapon movie where it's all over the city, all over the place. So that's I actually read that where that was supposed to be a Lethal Weapon movie. Yeah.
It is different. He's everywhere. He's not in one scene. He's everywhere. But
and then you saw Samuel L. Jackson and it's so awesome.
Fantastic movie though.
Yeah.
I would say the third one, there's not many sequels of a sequel. There's not a triple is normally not that
except
great.
Rocky 3 and 4, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're talking different things. Die Hard with a Vengeance was meh.
Solid film, good movie.
But no, that was and then Die Hard with what's the one
the fourth one? I can't
Die Hard.
Live Free or Die Hard, or
was that the fifth one? I never watched the fifth one. I heard it was really bad.
I don't know.
It was bad.
Yeah. The fourth one was okay.
That was like his son. All of a sudden, he has a son.
Yeah, the third one was okay.
Why not?
So the fourth one was okay.
Third one
was good. Fourth one was okay.
Riddles and shit, and it was Hans's brother.
Yes,
they play it as that it's Hans's brother. So
yes,
you could rob City Hall over here. What? There's cops nowhere. You could rob City Hall. Yo,
it just popped back into my head when you said Hans's brother. All right, so remember I told you I was watching this, I thought I saw a random Easter egg and went down a rabbit hole?
Yes.
So I'm watching it, and when they first come out of the elevator, I see an Italian-looking dude with like curly hair, and I'm like, holy fuck, is that the guy from Roadhouse? I thought it was like the karate villain guy that says like, I used to fuck guys like you in prison. So I like went down an IMDb hole. It's not there. And then I'm like searching, like find the guy's name, and I'm searching uncredited. And at the end of the day, it turned out it was not the guy, but like he looked very similar to the guy. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, dude, I was like, if that had been true, I would have been like, yes, amazing connection between two awesome movies.
Wow.
There's actually some like dark theory that when he is talking to Carl Winslow, he goes, what did you end up doing? Why are you on the desk? And
he's my God.
He's like, I shot a kid.
This was so random.
That he shot is Steve Urkel. Because Carl Winslow apparently... Yeah, you gotta, when you go into that theory, you're like,
that doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's amazing.
That Family Matters is actually his like dream, a fever dream.
He killed the kid
Jacob Slatter.
He killed
like Jacob Slatter. So he's just in there while like he's dying, and as his final like, oh God, Manny.
Oh man,
I'm back.
It's just
Stefan Urkel.
Yeah. And so it's like Jacob Slatter. So he's like Carl Winslow's dying, and he just lives inside Family Matters. Like so.
Yeah.
So every half hour, it's like,
things are better.
He's just like in his brain, just like no.
Yeah. My God, that is amazing,
dude. That came out of nowhere. When I was watching the movie, and then he's like talking to him. First of all, everyone can hear what he's saying, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone. He like even the terrorists.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. And then he's like, "I shot a kid," and Bruce Willis is like, sorry, man, I didn't know. Of course you didn't know. Like, you don't know who this guy is. Like, you don't even know what he looks like. You have no clue who this man is.
I'm sure Bruce Willis has shot kids at his job too. There's some of those scumbags he's taking off the street.
I'm thinking a bunch of people died in this film that weren't supposed to die. I mean, when he blew up the whole floor of that building, the building should have came down.
Yeah.
Like that explosion.
First of all, what floor did he blow up? Did he blow up below 30th? Or he blew
Who knows?
above?
He just threw a bag of explosives down an elevator shaft. He's like, goodbye.
Yeah, that was. He's like, I gotta stop this.
No thought.
Wait, is that a bad thing?
He's like, goodbye. Like,
yeah,
I feel like there's a lot more thought goes into these things now. Like when there's like, some other action films like, all right, if we do that, this is gonna happen. In the 80s, it was just like, all right, well, explosives, bag, throw it over the thing. It's like,
see what happens.
Here's the thing. I love that. First of all, he calls himself Roy because he's a cowboy. But the thing is, with that is that he isn't a super cop, right? He just like he just doesn't give up. So like him throwing that down and not thinking about it makes sense because like he just fucking goes. He's like, I have to survive this. I have to fucking stop them from killing people. So I'm just gonna do this to distract anybody. Like, think about that shit later. Like, if the building falls, I'm going down with it. But like, I ain't thinking about that.
And he's 100% barefoot still this whole time.
The whole time.
Well, that's the whole time. I'm thinking about, Manny, you mentioned earlier where he's kind of the everyman, which think about if you had like a Schwarzenegger in this movie, like he would just be like jumping out and like murdering people with a gun like it was no thing. But here McClane's like, it's almost like he's like MacGyver. Like even when he first like put to the ho, I have a machine gun in the elevator. He's got the pole with the elevator and stuff. Like he's like, like doing this weird wily shit as opposed to just like popping out with a gun and lighting people up. But to me is what makes the movie fun, like you could have made the movie and gone that route where he is just like you said, like a super cop where he's just gonna fucking jump out and light people up. But to me, that would make this a totally different non-fun movie that probably we would not even be talking about today.
Yeah, because there's even parts where he takes a rest, right? And he has to light a cigarette because he's like all fucking stressed out.
No one will smell that and find him.
Yeah. Like he doesn't know what to do, right? So I'm thinking in my head, like if this movie was like if those terrorists really wanted to kill him, like no one's stopping like the building is big, but it's not that big. Oh, we gotta say Carl fucking stopped. I didn't go all the way up. He's like, yo, fuck this shit. He's like walking in the hallway and he's like, no. Like, he's like, I'm so fat. I don't want to go look anywhere else in this building. He's like, oh, it's false alarm.
It's too hard.
Like, like at the end, he redeems himself. But at the same time, he's like, oh, like, man, I'm going to go have my Twinkies. I'm like, the fuck? You just gave up that quick. Although he would have died because he would have got killed. The guy was ready to kill him.
But what's so funny is like Bill, what you were saying too about like, he's not a super cop. He's not like this crazy person who can't be killed or hurt. Like he's not a Rambo. Yeah. He's like, right. This is why to me too, like Alan Rickman was like quite possibly one of the greatest villains. I mean, it was amazing.
Oh, he's great, dude.
And he's wearing a suit the entire time. I mean,
he's complimenting Nakatomi on like I have some of those.
I have
fancy
4
suits
of them
too. Yeah.
And he's not a villain who like again is not a super villain who knows like ninjutsu or can beat the shit out of someone. He's Alan Rickman. Like he's he's using.
Well, he's just more of the master. Yeah, he's the mastermind.
He's a mastermind. So that really brought out like a whole other part to the film to me. Like.
I would agree.
It did remind me too of like a Lethal Weapon and stuff like that, where like people were super like I guess like maybe in Lethal Weapon, like Mel Gibson is supposedly this like unkillable super cop, I guess in some ways, sort of
crazy person.
Another crazy person, man. He's another person that talks to himself, can undo his shoulder. Get out of
he's like a next level of crazy than John McClane is though.
Yeah, he lives in a trailer on a beach. And
Well,
how about in 2 where he goes to the South African embassy with it says my friend wants to immigrate to South Africa during apartheid. Joe Pesci's there.
Joe Pesci made those films much better.
Those movies are phenomenal. Those movies are great.
Okay.
They fuck you at the drive-thru.
Dude, Lethal Weapon, I think all of them are good.
Oh, Even the one they made with like Jet Li was still like watchable.
Yeah, but not the one with Chris Rock. Well, that was
the same one. It was watchable. Okay. It was watchable.
Did you
guys ever see the Always Sunny where they made Lethal Weapon 5?
Dear God, one of the greatest episodes of television of all time. I don't know how that show hasn't been canceled.
Really?
At all.
It's been on like 15 years. Oh, dude, it's funny. Like they basically decide they're going to make Lethal Weapon 5 and write a fake script and film it.
It's dude. Watch it right away. It's like
it's so ridiculous.
We'll pause and you go watch it now. But yeah, Alan Rickman, top notch. Like everyone in this, even Bonnie Bedelia was so great.
To your point about him, man, like right away he means business. Like he's cold and calculated. Where the guy's where Nakatomi's like, it doesn't do anything. You're gonna have to kill me, and he's like, okay. Boom. And I was like, holy shit! Like I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, God damn, didn't see that coming. You know,
I was blown away by that. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's we're not, finally a villain that I like respect, because how many times villains I have to go through it, and he's just like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah, it's like the classic 80s thing, like until he fucks up and the guy figures it out and gets away. No, he's going to blow this motherfucker's head off. Like, he's done.
Yeah. Like, I
get this smart kid over here. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can't deal with this. The cokehead, like, here, have a Coke, and then you're dead too.
Like, meanwhile, the crazy, but like, let's talk about the limo driver while he's partying. Argyle's sitting there talking on the phone, having drinks with the bear, which, like, he ends up talking to the bear at one point. Yeah.
He didn't hear any of these explosions?
Doesn't hear anything, but then like tries to leave and then just kind of gives up and falls asleep. Doesn't even get out of his car. Like he doesn't even try to like figure out. There has to be an exit. Bro. Did you say like Dave?
Yeah. Oh my God, seriously, because I was watching it and I'm like, this is something. No, I mean, this is just an inside joke, but you guys can listen to the Jada Kiss episode, when I release Cutting Edge and stuff. But like, this is literally just like when I saw him and he was just like doing that shit, I was like, yeah, of course. Like, David falls asleep in the limo and then all this shit would go down and he'd be like, huh?
He's like watching TV. And he's like, he notices that he's part of that building. He's trying to get out. He doesn't even like this is the plot. There's a hole in this plot right here because there has to be an exit door somewhere, right?
Somewhere
in the basement that you could walk out. This guy, he just goes, he like turns halfway, like he sees there's another truck there. The terrorist truck is there. Okay. And he's just like,
he just stops,
falls asleep. Until the end of the movie. And then he's like, what the fuck
crashes
is going
through
on
a
here?
gate and no one lights up the car.
Yo, he crashed through the gate. I'm like, why didn't you do that before?
2 hours ago?
And then run to the freaking, thing.
That was amazing.
That was
amazing. Dude, Argyle for the win, man. Like, seriously. But there were some amazing one-liners.
I thought, what's his name's part when he plays the American guy? When he plays
Alan Rickman?
Alan Rickman, like when he meets John McClane for the first time face to face.
Great scene.
Oh yeah.
Phenomenal. Classic. And you know that he even opens his cigarette. He takes his cigarette out like a European would.
And he grabbed it, and when he exhaled,
the way he held it, he held it like that too.
Yeah.
Which apparently is they did that so that John would have noticed that, not the name.
Because look at how
honest, bro. Who the fuck would notice that?
He's bleeding. Like, his feet are bleeding. Everything.
Bro, I just want to chain smoke right now because I smoke too. I don't give a fuck how this guy. I'm sorry, like, I've smoked in the past too. Like, did either of you, if you ever smoked, ever look at how someone else is smoking? Because I sure as fuck didn't.
No.
I would just sit outside and bullshit with someone. I wouldn't look at what they were doing. Like,
yeah, I get he's a cop, but he's not a fucking super cop.
Yeah, unless we're doing something weird, like, you're not gonna. That's he's in his nose.
Is like, yeah, it's not like he did
that's
anything.
The European way of smoking a cigarette. This son of a bitch, he got me.
Oh, he picked it out with his left hand instead of his right. That means he's from England.
And who has a soft pack of cigarettes? That pack of cigarettes would have been destroyed.
I don't know. Like,
yeah, but it would have
been. It was like Virginia Slims.
Those cigarettes are so.
Yeah, clean. I mean, this guy. Well, he found them. Didn't he also find the Zippo lighter in the in the first guy?
He took that guy's lighter.
I'm like, oh, got a Zippo lighter.
Like it was a video game. He killed the guy, took his gun, took some supplies, took a lighter, tried to put his shoes on.
Stock up, bro.
Did you see the little the advertisement for Motorola? Because the guy's like, oh, I could just call in to disconnect right now, and he's like, oh yeah, call it in, and he like lifts up the radio and he like puts it down. And it's like Motorola. I was like,
no, I missed that.
I was like, little cheesy ads going on here.
I want to go all the way back to the part where you were talking about the bear.
Oh my god!
This is why, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is where they took that and put that in Con Air, because in Con Air, Nick Cage, another shitty like father who decided to be a hero.
Yeah.
Or decided
to kill somebody with his bare hands.
Yeah, I mean, I know he was obviously he was defending his wife. Not that part. The part where they let him off the plane and he had the choice to get off the plane, but instead stays on the plane and decides that was the part where he made that choice. Instead of go home and like to his daughter and his wife, he's like, no, I gotta be a hero. But he had that shitty teddy bear the entire time, picks it out of a sewer afterwards and gives it to his daughter at the end of that movie, and she's like, what is this? He's like,
take this shit smelling bear.
So do you want to know the film theory on that one is what's his name that plays the crazy killer?
Malkovich?
No,
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Oh, that's Armageddon.
Escapes and then goes to Armageddon and is the guy in the oil rig that ends up in Armageddon and like.
Oh shit! I never knew that was
because they pick him up from the casino.
Because they pick him up at the casino. Yeah.
Speaking of Steve Buscemi, random one off here, but it just popped up on Prime. I recommend watching it. Is the movie Airheads is now free on Prime? 1993. Wow. Watch that. Great fucking movie.
That's a movie to put on.
Watch that.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how
I watched that the other night. Oh, so fucking funny.
My God. It was
funny. It was like new on Prime and I was like, fuck yeah.
Wasn't Brendan Fraser in that too?
Yeah, he
Brendan
was.
Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler. I forget the guy's name, but he does the mafia voice on The Simpsons. What's it?
He's also in like Best in Show. He's in a lot of Stephen Getty.
Yeah, a bunch of other guys. Winston from Ghostbusters is in it. Yeah, great movie. Beavis and Butthead are in it.
Really?
Great film. Yeah, they call into the radio station. Great movie. Watch it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I remember it a long time ago.
A couple things. When the FBI finally gets there, they don't.
These people are fucking horrible.
There's a part where he goes,
they're
trying to figure it out, and he goes, well, I figure we'll lose 20 to 25% of the hostages. Oh, I could live with that.
He's like, I can live with that. I caught that too. At one point, I actually thought
I've never seen a movie where they said that ever.
Who's the guy that played the last of Mohicans? That's him.
Daniel.
No, that's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
It isn't. It kind of looked like his.
Daniel Day-Lewis would not take a part like that.
Well, I don't know. Back then, maybe.
Back then, dude.
Who was that actor? Who was that actor that played that FBI agent?
I'll look that up right now. But
we'll lose a quarter of the hostages, but fuck them.
Yeah. That guy I actually thought was part of the fucking terrorist group. I was like, he's going to turn on.
Because of his blatant disregard for human life.
Yeah, he fucking didn't care at all. It was so dumb. And like, what was the car going to do when they were going to send in the truck?
I don't know, man.
The truck goes up the steps and almost freaking collapses before the missile even hits them.
Oh my God, bro.
It was a terrible idea.
When I saw that, I was like, this is like The Animal, that stupid toy.
Yes.
And it got stuck.
Nothing could stop it except everything.
Okay, the actor's
Didn't you guys post something about that like 3 years ago? I remember being like, fuck yeah, I remember this commercial. It sucked.
Nothing could stop.
Toy sucked.
The animal.
Toy sucks.
Claws would come out of it.
Yeah.
So the name of this actor is Robert Davi. He was in The Goonies. Remember, he was like
the guy. He played the Italian guy.
And he's in the James Bond movie License to Kill. He's the bad guy in that too.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, he was in. He works a lot.
I mean, he just that
Expendables 3.
Yeah, that guy's in a bunch of shit.
They were douchebags, and the chief was a douchebag, and it was just weird how they let Carl talk to him over like a nationwide walkie-talkie system. Like they all had a PA system that they could, even the freaking limo guy.
Yeah.
You hear that.
It was ridiculous, the whole part. But I mean,
and why was it that he says to the girlfriend, she's like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to come over. I told you I was going to come over. My boss thinks I'm going to Vegas. I was like,
oh yeah, I did notice that too. And I'm like, what is he talking about?
What are you talking about? Why would your boss think you're going to Vegas? You're with John McClane. You're driving him to LA.
Yeah, that felt very non sequitur. Maybe there was some like original plot they were writing that changed. Who the hell knows?
Maybe a lot of it was improvised.
Maybe I was thinking maybe he was going to drop. He wasn't supposed to be there all day, and he was going to drop off John and Holly at the house, and then go to Vegas to pick someone up.
True.
Holly.
Doesn't this feel like one of those things where we're analyzing this? If you ask the actor, he'd be like, "Bro, I just fucking made it up. I don't know what's going on."
I fucking know. I read the lines. I was sitting next to a bear. Yeah. My acting partner was a bear.
Yeah, and then he looks back at the bear, and he's like, "I know." Like when he looks back at the rearview mirror, and he's looking at the bear, he's like, "I don't know." Dude, and then he crashes into the computer nerd dude.
Yeah,
the computer nerd dude goes down without a fight.
That poor guy.
Like. I don't even think he died.
No, I don't know.
That guy got arrested.
I don't know who said this in the movie, but I had to write this down.
Bring him back in fucking Die Hard 5, 6
now. Yes.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Someone said that maybe it was Bruce Willis said it. Maybe it probably was. He said there was a line where it's like, "I'm not the one who got butt fucked on national television."
What?
Yeah.
Who did he say that to?
I think he said that to the police chief.
Oh, yes. Because
craziest lines. These lines were insane.
Police chief got those guys like hurt, like because he was trying to tell them to stay away, and they don't want to listen to John because John's from New York and they feel threatened that John is taking over and better cops than they
people don't like New Yorkers, bro. We get too much balls for them.
I know that's what it is, bro. we went too quick. We're too fast. We're like,
suck my dick, John, bro.
These guys are trying to plant things out. John's just throwing bombs down a fucking shaft.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah.
He's also. Can we just talk about him in the AC shaft? And he's just like. Fuck it, I'm gonna go jump into this little hole. He misses it, and he falls like four fucking floors, and he fucking still grabs. I'm like, yo, that's it. I'm dead. I'm not doing it. I can't.
But that's the other thing. To your point, I think that kind of lays home the everyman thing again, right? Obviously, it's unrealistic, but that was Stallone or Schwarzenegger. They'd be like, boom, right where I was going to grab. And like, he missed.
If it was Stallone or Schwarzenegger, they couldn't use the strap of the gun to hold them because they're too heavy. Like
exactly.
Only an everyday man could be Bruce going, okay, let me use the gun and freaking put it here and go down because I'm breaking the buckle.
So apparently,
he should have just stayed in the elevator shaft, in my opinion.
So apparently, apparently on IMDb, the scene where McClane falls down a shaft was a mistake by the stuntman who was supposed to grab the first vent as it originally was planned. He slipped and continued to fall, but the shot was used anyway, and it was edited together with one where McClane grabs the next vent down as he falls. So again,
wait, is the guy alive? It's the stunt guy. They're like, we just want to tell you the stunt guy is actually dead from that scene.
If you watch the end of the credits, there's an in memoriam.
Yeah, in memoriam.
Well, it's like in Deep Blue Sea when when the window breaks and all that water comes crashing through. That was real. Those were all the real actors. And 12 tons of water went on them. They were all running for their lives, and they used it in the film.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I love little things like that. Like, what is it where Kirk Douglas had like a heart attack at the beginning of Heart of Darkness? Yeah, and they used that cut in the film. I love shit like that.
Dude, I hope they got his approval.
Back then, they probably didn't. They were like, "Oh, fucking
it doesn't matter.
Let's go, bro.
We own.
You're not dead. Fuck you."
Yeah.
Oh man,
we own any take we got.
Yeah,
I think it was Bruce Willis. I don't know if it was Bruce Willis who said this or the other guy, but when he was fighting that German guy, that guy who he killed his brother, which that actor was in the Money Pit. He says, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, cook you, and I'm gonna eat you."
Oh my god!
That's actually mild for an 80s movie. Great line, but it's pretty mild. That's not like, there's worse things we've talked about, like, I used to fuck guys like you in prison or other shit.
Yeah.
So great line, but I appreciate the restraint a little.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Bro.
I'm still trying to figure out what this company does, but
they have all those bonds. I don't know.
They got bonds, but they also have computers.
I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna Google it and see if anyone thinks.
There's a fucking a floor of just computers that are just on.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know.
Like nobody shut off computers back then.
No, because it would take so long to put them back on.
Yeah.
Remember how long?
And the best is like even when he goes in. One of the things, not to bring back the beginning, when he goes and he's looking for Holly's name. Why are you looking for a name? Because the guy then goes, "Oh, she's on the 30th
Good point.
floor.
Everyone's on the 30th floor.
Everyone, that's the only ones left here in the building."
It's like, thanks, asshole.
Why did you just lead with that? Like, well, it doesn't matter who your wife is. If she's here, she's on the 30th floor. Like,
holy
done.
shit, bro. Okay,
what?
Listen.
What
do
they do?
So the writer, Jeb Stewart, was given the task of adapting Roderick Thorpe's book Nothing Lasts Forever and had some difficulty writing the screenplay until he had a near-death experience while driving at night in Los Angeles after a fight with his wife. He was driving behind a truck carrying refrigerators, and one of the fridge boxes fell out of the truck. Because he was so distracted, he noticed too late how all the cars in front of him had quickly dodged the box, but luckily for him, it was empty. He realized that if he had died, he wouldn't have been able to apologize to his wife. This inspired him to give clear motivations to John McClane and Holly's characters. They wanted to reunite with each other after having a fight.
Oh my God.
It was a love story.
Wow.
It's once again, it's a nice, it's a quality story about a family coming together at Christmas.
Yeah, and the nightmares of Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas miracle, bro. It's a Christmas miracle.
Bro, even when the safe opens, the song, a Christmas song, comes on. And
you didn't see the Easter egg where Jesus is in the sky? I'm just kidding. And
then at the end, a Christmas song is playing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more points of this being a Christmas movie than not.
Oh my God, dude, this movie was a disaster. Bruce Willis suffered permanent hearing loss while shooting. No pun intended. A scene in the conference room, the one when he shoots up through the table.
Oh, Jesus.
He suffered severe damage to his left ear. As previously stated in trivia, the stunt weapons specialist engineered blanks to be extra loud and produce extreme muzzle flashes for dramatic effects. The close quarters under the table and the use of plexiglass to protect the actor from flying shell casings and wood splinters further increases sound. In 2019, Willis said in an interview, due to an accident on the first Die Hard, I suffered 2/3 partial hearing loss in my left ear.
God.
And they have a tendency to say, what? The actor has worn a hearing aid for years, unbeknownst to us, to most fans.
Wow.
Man, that's when people have balls.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to do both things. One, we put this to the test.
We're starting to repeat ourselves.
Yeah. I just want to say one other thing. I do want to give props to Bonnie Bedelia. She was awesome as Holly McClane or Holly Gennaro.
Yeah, dude.
She's awesome.
She's like the original boss bitch, bro.
Yeah. But what's funny about it, at the end, everyone started getting weirdly sweaty and everything. And then there was a scene with her and Alan Rickman where she looks all like disheveled. And it's like right away, there's like, all right, let's just open her shirt just a little bit. Like
it's an 80s movie, bro.
80s movies. They just like, all right, well, she's had
not enough boobs.
Oh, dude, and the punch at the end, she punches the reporter.
Great.
Oh, so great. Like,
so much violence in an 80s film.
Which you call you? Yeah, it's like, you have anything to say? Slap in the face.
So much violence, and justified violence in an 80s film where, like, you know, Reginald Vell Johnson shoots that guy at the end who, man, I mean, that guy, he was hung, beaten, shot. I mean, that guy was like, and I think he's in Die Hard too.
Well, he didn't get drawn and quartered, so he was okay.
The blonde guy. Yeah, he did get drawn and quartered. He's not Vigo.
He's in Die Hard 2?
He's Vigo.
Dude, I think he's in Die Hard 2. If I look.
No way.
And while I'm looking, why don't we start this conversation about, does Die Hard pass the nostalgia test, and then get into, is this a Christmas movie or not. Let's see. No, he's not in Die Hard 2. I was wrong. He was in The Money Pit.
So should we do the questions one at a time? Like, does it pass the nostalgia test?
Does it pass? I'm saying fuck yes, it passes the nostalgia
100%,
test.
bro.
100%.
I was like wanting to be like, no, maybe it doesn't. Like, but I'm like, no, this is a good movie. It's good.
Good movie. It's entertaining. Like, it's a 2-hour movie to your point, Pico, but like, it doesn't feel like a 2-hour movie.
No.
You know, like it goes quick. It's entertaining. It's fast moving, and it's everything you want from an 80s action movie.
Absolutely. Yes. It was an amazing film. I will now watch it way more than once. This is a movie that
I'm so happy that reaction that like you haven't seen it. No. And it's like, and you still like it because that's like truly.
So there is no nostalgia. Like it's just, is this a good movie?
It's straight up good movie.
Like, but that's like the idea of the passing the nostalgia test. That it's like it's not just nostalgic. No, it passes it. Like it passes it. Like it's not nostalgic.
Pico, you're like the control of this experiment.
Yeah, you are. Because like me and Billy could just be like, no, we're just, like we might be saying it passes, but we're still holding on to the nostalgia.
Yep, 100%, bro.
But like
new watcher, perfect.
This was
like a perfect case.
Yeah, this was an absolute amazing action film, and I said it, I think in the beginning, and I was like, they don't make action films like this anymore. There's a strictly very serious action movie with comedy, but the thing is nowadays, and it's a rated R film. Again, there's not a lot of rated R like action films like this, and I feel like this is one of those things where it's just like we're making a serious action film. There'll be some drama. There'll be a little bit of levity, but it's not like with like, Hobbs and Shaw, where like it's like a huge thing, but it's funny. Or like Fast and Furious, even like it's funny. It's a serious. It's an action film, but it's.
But it got to the point now they're just making fun of it.
They're like taking the piss out of themselves.
Kind of like,
and Vin Diesel will never get hurt.
Overboard. No,
he doesn't want to.
Now
it's
in their contract, like they're only allowed to get hit a couple of times.
Like Bruce Willis,
The Rock has that. I read.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis got
he can't get defeated. Yeah, or something like that.
Neither can Statham. And so like that movie had so much like, okay, well, we'll never lose a match.
That movie is absurd.
You could only hit me. You could only hit me a certain amount of times, and I could only hit you a certain amount of times. Yeah. And if I lose a match, then the next scene you have to lose. And it's like, all right, dude, come on. Like, and now that we all know that's like basically just watching a ballerina dance. Like that's all fucking
100%, man.
And that's why old school action movie stars like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and Bruce Willis will last forever because they didn't mind getting hurt, getting killed,
get their ass kicked.
I mean, and a Terminator 2.
But you got to put Mel Gibson in there in that time capsule because like whatever. Okay, it is
a crazy nut job.
But like political stuff or whatever, how he is now, who cares? But like,
when you're looking at the stars of the time, he was more like an amalgamation for Bruce Willis, because you had like Schwarzenegger versus Stallone, and then Mel Gibson and Bruce Willis are very much like you said, the everyman. Like they could do that, Like they were doing like popular.
Braveheart. He was doing Braveheart at the time.
But even that, like, he's not like disgusting like Schwarzenegger or Stallone jacked. He's just like still kind of looks like a normal dude,
Again, you watch Braveheart and you were like, like you were like he wasn't this like there was people bigger than him in that movie, but he like made himself bigger. Remember, like even the whole thing is like William Wallace is 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall, and he like whatever. So like it was good. I think that they were exactly the opposite of the Schwarzenegger Stallone thing, and it worked. And I think
it's more believable, honestly. I mean, it's still ridiculous, believable, but like it's more believable than like Schwarzenegger firing a 50 caliber machine gun with one fucking arm. Or like in Commando cutting someone's head off with a fucking saw blade. Like it's a little more believable.
And it's so funny how like the old Rambo movies are more believable than that one two that he did.
The first one is the first Rambo is actually
the first one is
a great film.
And that's the one that's before he got big.
Movie. There's a Christmas tree in the background in
First Blood. That's amazing.
That's great. No, but I think Stallone at one point Stallone was everyman, right? He wasn't like Jack like that.
Yeah.
He was still.
Then he hit the roids, man.
And then, Rocky 4 came along and
you got the first 2 Rockies and the first Rambo. You're right. He's not that. And then once because, Rambo 2 and Rocky 4 came out the same year. So that's where you're like, all right,
Rocky 3, he started getting big. And then Rocky 4, he was like glazed.
Hitting the juice, bro.
He just looked like a freaking.
Was Rocky 5 a Christmas movie because they fought on Christmas too?
Did they? Where is that under the subway they fight on Christmas?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sue me for what? Punching
so he
you
fought
in the
on Christmas
face,
in Rocky
bro.
5. He fought on Christmas in Rocky 4. So a year after Rocky 4, a year after fighting the Russian on Christmas, that next year
he's fighting again.
Fights Tommy Gunn in the street.
Wait, does it 2 take place around Christmas also? Because he's driving the Firebird, and the 2 takes place around Christmas also. When Adrian doesn't want to fight because he gets driving the Firebird around the snow.
Yes. I thought that was Thanksgiving.
Every movie is taking place around Christmas. Actually, he's dead. He's still Rocky's still in the hospital and he's in a coma from fighting Apollo. And we never actually experienced 2, 3, 4, and 5.
They're all bullshit.
They're all just his dream.
Hopefully, we didn't experience 5.
Yeah, I believe Rocky 4 is a Christmas movie.
Billy, you got to see that video that me and Dan just shared to me. Is it a kid?
I'll send it to you
on Rocky Day, talking to Sylvester Stallone, doing the whole speech that he does.
I saw that clip. I didn't watch it. That's all I got to watch. That's
awesome.
I will say Rocky 4. I just want to say one more thing about Rocky. Rocky 4 is definitely a Christmas movie. They go to Russia during the holiday season. Shut up. They're listening. Paulie's listening to Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Christmas special.
Yes, he is.
They do,
but it doesn't end with a Christmas song. It doesn't end with a Christmas song.
But it ends in the Christmas spirit, just like the end of the Grinch Stole Christmas. The Russians are the Grinch trying to ruin everything. They kill Apollo, which has killed the Christmas spirit. And then Rocky goes and makes their heart grow 5 times by doing his speech. He changes. They change. Everyone changes.
And we all can change.
Just like in Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas miracle. Rocky needs a Christmas movie.
It'd be funny if you sat down with your family like, all right, guys, we're going to do a Christmas movie marathon. And all you put on are movies that are like, people are like debating. You're like, all right, we're going to watch Die Hard, Rocky 4, Gremlins, like movies that everyone is debating.
First Blood.
What? They're fucking Christmas movies.
You should start fights with your family because of this. Someone did argue with me.
You're with your family.
Someone did
what? They're fucking Christmas movies. Someone
said to me, the reason why Die Hard is a Christmas movie now is because most people talk about it now, and it became a Christmas movie because everybody was talking about it. They're like it was never really talked about that way, and then I don't know when this started, this argument.
I think it's gotten steam the last couple of years.
Yeah, well, more podcasts, right? So like you needed to have something to argue about. So like, I think. I like that argument. You could argue like it wasn't until recently because people are talking about it. So it's now a Christmas movie. Well, but here's the age-old question. Here it is. What do we think?
Well, I will say, according to our social media, it has been overwhelmingly that like it is a Christmas movie. My friend PT McNiff, who does the podcast, the Long Take Review with Jen as well. Like check out that podcast; it's amazing. And the Substack, PT says definitely a Christmas movie. He says that it's too many themes reconnecting with family during the stressful holiday season to not be a Christmas movie. Plus, it's time of miracles. And a lot of people think it's a Christmas movie. They say it's a Christmas movie. There's a lot of Christmas music. It ends on a Merry Christmas. It ends with Christmas music.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta give a shout out to Nicole from the NYCFC. She's a new listener. She's my account manager for my season pass, and she told me to give a shout out as long as she said she would start listening to us as long as I give her a shout out. So since we're doing shout outs, she didn't tell me whether she believes it's a Christmas movie or not. I didn't think she wanted to start arguing with me because I was very loud about it over the phone. Anyways, I wanted to say it wasn't. Okay, I've always believed it wasn't. As soon as Christmas and Holidays comes on, and then he's doing Jingle Bell. And he's got a gift, and all these different songs that are coming through, and ho ho ho, I'm like, shit, this is a fucking Christmas movie. I wanted to say no, but it's a freaking Christmas movie.
I mean,
especially maybe not in the 90s, nobody thought about it, or late 80s, but especially now that violence isn't a criteria that takes it away anymore, because there is violent Christmas movies. You have Bad Santa that came out, drunken, rated R.
Well, wait a second. That's a Christmas movie. Okay, yes. 100%. He's Santa Claus. I mean, it's all based on Christmas.
So what? But there's plenty of movies that Santa Claus is not, Santa Claus is there. Is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
Chick from Adult Babies podcast says definitely a Christmas movie. Doom Generation, they said it's a Christmas movie. Look, I was thinking about it. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with an idea, but I'm trying to think. If you took the Christmas out of Die Hard, would it change the movie? Right? Like, would it change it? Because
no,
if you
you're
take
right.
the Christmas out of like,
could just be a random office party.
Right. It could be a random office party.
They're like celebrating making $1 million. Or they're celebrating.
Yeah.
They're celebrating, or they're celebrating the construction being finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'm like, does Christmas even factor into it in that way? Right. Like that it matters, or is it just a vehicle to get him there? And that way, like, we could figure something else out, like writing this, right? Or was it in the book?
Yeah, so I guess the release date doesn't. The release date doesn't matter, because
obviously,
if you're doing the release date, then it isn't a Christmas movie. It wasn't written as a Christmas movie. It was just like you said. Well, we got to give this guy a reason to show up. All right, he's going to show up during the holidays. All right, so we got to have a soundtrack to it. Well, it's during the holidays, so we got to put holiday music on. So, it could have been a couple of days before Christmas, but
okay,
I don't know. I think
You're saying
Christmas.
Yes, Manny.
I'm saying yeah, man, because like if you go in, all these crazy things happen, and at the end they're together, and like all is good. Let's go a Christmas movie. Now, if you're saying you have to have Christmas dinner, there has to be presents.
It's so subjective, So I respect your opinion there.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this:
get it.
The book,
I can easily be changed, though.
I think it's because obviously it just had something to do with the book, because the book is on Christmas Eve. There is no wife. He's coming in to visit his daughter, Stephanie Leland Gennaro, which is where I guess that name comes in. And so like he's not married. He's just coming to see his daughter he's waiting for the Christmas party to end. And that's how the book happens. So, I mean, obviously it's not a Christmas. If I would say that, then I can easily then like, this is a Christmas story. If the book, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm trying to think, like, is it a Christmas movie or just a movie that happens on Christmas? And it's just great to watch on Christmas because, like, we don't have to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Because if I take Christmas out of It's a Wonderful Life, who gives a shit?
I mean, I don't give a shit either way, but
I watched that for the first time like 2 years ago, and I was like, why do people love this movie so much?
Oh, I hate that movie. I cannot stand it.
It's all for like $1,000 too. It's like not even that much money, and I'm like,
I just can't do it, man. Like I'm like,
and like my uncle's argument, I can't believe you don't understand. I'm like, no, I saw it. Like, why is it such a big deal?
When he like aggressively, like verbally attacks that girl and then kisses her, like it's such a weird scene.
Dude, the whole movie, like the acting is terrible. People
Christmas Vacation is a better Christmas movie than It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
Fucking gauntlet thrown down.
Yes. Fuck yeah. Your sister just got like the mousse glass.
I have those. Yeah, they're great, dude.
It's freaking awesome.
My brother-in-law found at the store. It's a Christmas Vacation chocolate bar, and when you open it up on the bar, I haven't eaten it yet, but he said it's printed Jelly of the Month Club. I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
That's great. That's great.
So I'm going to
give you guys what do you
go ahead. No, Bill, go ahead.
No, you go, because I was gonna. I'm gonna give you a non-answer answer, which this is kind of, you can call my bullshit on this, but
okay.
I think at its time of release, it was not a Christmas movie. I don't think it was intended to be a Christmas movie. Right. To your point, I think it incorporated some Christmas elements, but it could have been whatever. It could have been any kind of part of The Office. The story still holds. However, I think whether it's this grassroots, feeling around her, whatever it is. I think it's gotten to the point where it has evolved into a Christmas movie because of this controversy debate. Because it's something like I've watched it the last few years of Christmas, and growing up, I never would have considered it a Christmas movie. But now, like, this debate has gotten it going. So I think it didn't start as a Christmas movie, but I would say now it is a Christmas movie. And to Pico's point, like, I'd rather sit down and be like, let's watch a Christmas movie. Let's watch Die Hard instead of It's a Wonderful Life. This is fucking awesome. And like, there's some Christmas elements. So like, cool, So that's, you can call that a non-answer. Like, I don't think it started.
I don't think it's a non-answer.
I think it's evolved into a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's a non-answer. And I agree with you that it definitely evolved to it. I think we've all changed. The zeitgeist of this movie has changed because
100%, bro.
Because maybe even the way we all look as a society, as a group of our own, like the people who are creating the zeitgeist, have changed what we believe Christmas movies are. Because you used to think it was this, and then it had to be this, and like, you get your Hallmark Christmas movies, but now you even got, like I said, like you have Deadly Night. Silent Night, like
Bad Santa, like Pico said, like movies that are not the feeling of Christmas, but still a Christmas movie.
Yeah, like so there's like this change in the culture, if you will, and that movie got to hold up to be like, well, let's bring this into the new conversation of, is it a Christmas movie? Like, my question would be on that then: is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
100%.
I would say yes. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the original Gremlins in probably 15 to 20 years, so I'd have to watch it again. But from what I remember, I would say yes. I think it's actually more of a Christmas movie than this is.
100%.
100%.
I mean,
it doesn't even end as great as this, in my opinion. But
isn't what the fuck is the thing's name that turns into a gremlin? What's that fucking guy's name?
Mogwai.
Oh,
is it Mogwai? Isn't Mogwai like a Christmas gift? Like
Gizmo.
It is. Yeah,
Gizmo.
That's a little early. Gizmo.
The worst
Gizmo
Christmas
is a Christmas
gift ever.
But yeah, it is a Christmas gift. So right there from the beginning, like, all right, that's more Christmas,
No.
Like, unless you were going to rob those bonds to give them to your family as a Christmas gift, Hans.
I feel like every other Christmas movie has the word Christmas in it in some way or some sort of Christmassy thing. It's funny because I'm looking at a list of movies. It's like Christmas action movies, and it's just like Christmas Chronicles, The Night Before Christmas.
Christmas Chronicles is a great fucking movie.
It's amazing.
Never seen that one.
Oh, watch it.
So good.
Oh man, Kurt Russell. Merry Friggin' Christmas. All these things, and then it's like
that's a feel good movie.
Die Hard doesn't even have a Christmas word in it. It doesn't have The
poster has no Christmas.
Yeah. What?
The poster, like you said earlier,
no
it's
Christmas.
His fucking face in a building,
It's his face, a building, and an explosion. Now, I'm
all awesome.
But again, because Billy, to your point, the poster came out during the release time. Like they didn't think
July.
about it being
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So why would it be on there? If it did come out in December, you'd see it in you probably see in the explosion, maybe Christmas trees like flying out.
Ornaments or some shit. Yeah,
some shit like that.
That's a good point, Manny.
I feel like I'm almost with Billy's non-answer, where it's just like it never was supposed to be a Christmas movie. But much like other movies now this is a great movie. But much like shitty movies like The Room or things like that, or if you've ever seen Birdemic, which is like a really terrible movie, they create this following almost, and they become like hits in different ways. Where like as this movie was out, and there's probably people just like, yo, there's Christmas. This is a Christmas movie. We're making it a Christmas movie. But
I would love to know the origin of who came up with it first.
Man, it's getting long.
I know
I'm like sitting there going like
Billy. It's Billy, man.
Sorry, guys.
I always do this.
Always do
all-star guest. No,
lots of editing on Dan's plate.
It's now gonna be like the nostalgia test with Manny Dan featuring Billy.
I'm trying to look.
I was gonna make another mind-blowing point, but I think I forgot it, which is probably good.
It's Die Hard. There's so many reasons why it is.
There has to be somebody must have brought that up and brought it into the zeitgeist of like that question, right? Like
one of you said it was the director, right? That has the argument with him.
The writer, Jeb Stewart.
Did he see like an opportunity to get more legs on this, so threw it out there, like,
maybe
something like that?
Well, no, I think they just interviewed him and said, the question of blah blah blah, and he said something about like, well, all the Purim movies were taken. Like he made like a Jewish joke. I guess he's Jewish, and whatchamacallit. So he was like, yeah, it's definitely a Christmas movie. And then Bruce Willis.
Why not lean into that, bro?
And then Bruce Willis says no, and you're thinking like, all right, all of a sudden, Die Hard.
All make more money off residuals.
Yeah, Die Hard's being talked. Dude, they even have like Bruce Willis with a Christmas hat, like things. Like
this is a great article,
bro. Like that sweatshirt. I would buy that sweatshirt. I now have a machine gun. Ho ho ho!
Hey, my brother-in-law's Christmas sweater has that on it. Yeah,
that's freaking great.
Okay, so there's an article by in the Arrow that was like last year, December 9th last year, where someone says, if you'd like to make a case for something that's rarely mentioned, Die Hard isn't just a Christmas movie. It's a Gen X Christmas movie. In the same way, It's a Wonderful Life belongs to boomers, and Elf is a quintessential millennial film. So it's like there's a subtitle going, we'd rather spend the holidays alone in the dark, avoiding all the holiday hostility. If there's one thing Gen Xers know, it's how to isolate themselves, be it in an attic, basement, or ill-assembled treehouse.
That's pretty solid.
I mean, that's fucking great.
I mean, basically, it's a Gen X thing. I mean, if that's one thing that I understand, like by this article, it's just like it's not so much that it was a Christmas movie, but that Gen X made it a Christmas movie, and because at some point they were just like, why not, right?
And I could see that,
yeah. So I don't think it originally. I don't care what Jeb Stewart says as the writer. I know he has like.
There's no way it was originally.
There's no way he wrote that movie going, I'm going to make this a Christmas movie. He wrote it as a movie, and it now has a second life as a Christmas
think about it then.
Yeah, it's a second life as a Christmas movie to get that Christmas movie money.
I mean, think about it. Like, as an artist, that must be great because, like, everything's perception. So, like, even like, I could look at a painting and you have a different feeling than I do, or listen to a song or whatever. And now you're thinking like a movie, and it's like you didn't even think about this thing as a Christmas movie, and now people are talking about it. It's like, all right, now it's going to be on like freaking.
Yeah, every year it's going to be on TV.
On streaming.
Exactly.
You see it on streaming. It's
Hulu like playing on December 23rd. You're like, fuck, bro. Like it never would have happened a decade ago.
No, like you just had like Die Hard was just out all the time. And like I did see an argument on social media. They're like, it's not a Christmas movie. I watch it all year long. And I was like, do you? Like, do you think about watching Die Hard ever? Like that movie's so like it's good.
Before this debate, I would have watched it on HBO when I was flipping around. Maybe watch half of it and flip. I remember this movie. Let me watch some of this.
Exactly. You're not gonna be like whatever. I might even now because of this gonna watch the second one.
I'm definitely going to.
It's like, and that takes place on Christmas.
And then we'll just do this and not record it.
Oh man, guys. So I guess the answer is that
it's a Christmas movie.
It's now a Christmas movie.
I would agree. Yep.
It has to have that asterisk.
Agreed.
I 100% agree. Because if it doesn't get that, it was not, in my opinion, there's no way it originally was supposed to be a Christmas movie. It's now a Christmas movie. That's what happened. Is because, and I guess it's Gen X's fault. Who knows?
Who cares?
We're kind of like that middle Gen X millennial people, so it's kind of like
Zennial, baby, Zennial.
Yep, agreed, man.
Then people say like that's not a normally term that's not used much. I'm like, I'm fucking calling myself a Zennial because there's some things in millennial world that
the Oregon Trail generation is another good one.
No.
Yes, fucking Oregon Trail.
Well, guys, we did it. We dug into it. We're here at the end. This was a great episode. Bill, once again, another masterpiece. Bill, just thanks so much for coming on again.
Hey, man, always appreciate it. I'm always, whenever you need me, I am here, sir.
If anyone...
Not to bring up some shit, but we got called out on somebody in a wrestling thing called us out and said they loved our third episode, except we got everything wrong. And I was like...
Which one was that?
I think when we got to
it was like the best wrestler,
all around wrestler and stuff like that.
Fuck those people, man.
Did you see the Rick? Dan, you could cut this out, but did you see the Ric Flair documentary?
I haven't watched it yet. No, I watched a lot of the We did it on A&E biography.
We know. We know.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I went back and listened to all 3 of those episodes. They're amazing. Everyone, if you want more episodes where Billy just came on and rocked it, check out the Roadhouse episode, the 2020 wrap-up episode, the 3-part wrestling episode. Was there another one?
3 parts.
I think that was it. Was there another one that you came on?
No, I think that's all of them, bro.
And now
I forgot. Episode. We took like 4 hours that time.
Jesus. Yeah. I broke it up into 3 parts. People, thank you so much for supporting the Nostalgia Test podcast. Share, like, subscribe. Definitely share. Share this podcast.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. And follow us on Instagram at the Nostalgia Test, TikTok at the Nostalgia Test.
Test coming soon.
X, maybe the Nostalgia Test, as far as like we'll be there for a little bit. And yeah, everyone, happy holidays. Watch Die Hard. Tell us what you think. Is it a Christmas movie or not? And we'll see you in 2024. Manny.
Thanks, boys.
Been a good time. Peace.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at the Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on the Nostalgia Test.